This is Coach Winovus with a WFL breakdown that's going to be very different from normal breakdowns because, number one, it is currently not on the WFL Video HQ page because I don't have that set up to stream from my PS5. Also, you're not going to see my lovely mug, but you're going to hear me a lot in this video. And this is regarding our new rules that we have instituted starting with this season's off-season. I'm going to emphasize that, off-season. But I want to show you now, while I can, what we mean by the rules. Now, the rule is been added for off-season free agency. You must offer a minimum of 25% bonus unless it's a one-year contract, in which case the minimum you can offer is a 50% bonus. And I'm going to show you using the re-signs right now. Now, I'm going to be real clear about this. These rules are only for off-season free agency, but I want to nip it in the bud now and show you now with a re-sign capability style like what you're going to see in free agency. Because when you bid on free agents, this is what the screen looks like. So regardless of if I'm doing a re-sign right now or if I'm doing free agency, this lesson will still work. But do be aware, this is only for off-season. I'm doing it right now in week 3 of season 2 of Madden 24, so that way you can get an idea whenever we get to the next off-season of what we mean when we say offers like bonuses and 25% and all that stuff. So we're going to start real simple. Obviously, I can offer this contract to this player, and this contract is completely legal by our new rules in off-season around 25% bonus. But I want to show you what we mean by 25% bonus. And yes, this will require you to do some math. I'm sorry, we're all adults. We're going to have to do some math here. But I want to show you with a real simple, I'm going to adjust it to a custom offer, and I'm going to take the salary to $4 million. Now, I'm not going to offer this contract. This is simply for education purposes. But here's the deal. This player, if I were offering this contract in free agency, the minimum bonus I could offer, minimum, is $1 million. Because $1 million is 25% of $4 million, which is the salary. So basically, when you make an offer, the rules around 25% bonus is based on the salary you offer. If the salary creeps up, then this has to creep up as well. And in cases where it's a round up, round down issue, like for example, $5 million would require $1,250,000. I don't have the option to put in $1,250,000. I can only put in 1.2 or 1.3. In those cases, you always round up. So in this case, the minimum bonus at $5 million a year salary is $1.3 million in bonuses, okay? And that is for off-season free agents. So anytime this salary goes up, this has to go up to match it as well. It has to be minimum of 25% of your salary. Can you offer more? Yes, you can offer as much bonus as you like that you think you need to offer to get the free agent to sign with you. But the minimum you can offer, as I take this back down to $4 million to make it a real easy math problem, the minimum I can offer in bonus is $1 million. And the reason for that's real simple. Now, obviously, with contracts where you have multi-year contracts, it won't be as big of an effect because the first year you can't trade that player anyway. But in future years, we want to make sure that anybody you trade that you've signed in free agency has some sort of hit. And obviously, under our old rules as of last year, geez, I don't want to offer $60 million. I could technically offer this deal and be completely legal. And here's the other problem with that. After year 1 of this contract, I could trade this and have no penalty whatsoever. So after a year, if I don't like this player anymore, I can move on, get assets for him, and have no punishment for signing a contract. And all free agent contracts should have some sort of punishment if you trade, cut, or otherwise dismiss the player before that contract ends. That's the way it works in the NFL. Now, one other thing to talk about, if you offer in off-season free agency, once again, off-season free agency, if you offer a one-year deal, or if the player will only sign a one-year deal, you must offer at minimum 50% of what they want in salary or what you offer in salary as a bonus. Can you offer less salary? Absolutely. But the bonus has to be close enough to it to make it 50%. So if I offer $3 million, I have to offer 1.5 million in bonuses, and then I make my offer. Any deal we see that doesn't correspond with that in next offseason's free agency, you will be forced to cut the player at the penalty, and you will not be able to re-sign that player for the rest of free agency. So be very, very mindful of our new rules around bonuses and minimum bonuses for both multi-year, which is, again, 25%. I'm using $4 million as a real nice, easy point because basically for every $4 million in salary, there should be $1 million in bonus. Okay, that's the easy math because 1 is 25% of 4. Okay, so anytime, if you need a calculator, if you're using your phone, you put a calculator on your phone. If you're using a laptop or a desktop, you have a calculator app on that desktop or laptop. Use it, do some real math, quick math. Do 4 divided by or times 0.25 and you'll get your number. Okay, it's not a complicated procedure. It's very, very basic math. I'm not asking you to go out here and figure out your cat values and all that fun stuff. I'm simply saying that if you offer a multi-year deal in free agency, off-season free agency, you must have at least 25% of the bonus, 25% of the salary, as a bonus. If it's multi-year. If it's a one-year deal, it must be 50% of your bonus. And this one is real simple. Our rules do allow you to trade a player on a one-year contract as a free agent. So if you were to sign a free agent at $4 million with no bonus, you could trade them and get assets for them at no penalty to yourself. That should be a wrong thing. These players, let's think about it realistically. These players that are signing one-year deals, they want some guarantee out of the deal. They want some bonus, which is guaranteed money. Obviously, we're not making it super realistic. It could be something where it could have to be minimum 100%. Because they want that guaranteed money in case you cut them or in case they don't get a new contract after this one expires. They want to make sure they make their money as much as possible. Think about it from a player's point of view. Why would you sign a one-year deal unless there was zero interest in you, like beyond zero interest level in you, and not take some kind of guarantee? Any veteran worth his salt is going to wait out and wait for a guarantee. They're not going to just sign a contract willy-nilly with no bonus involved that they could be cut in training camp and not make a lick of money. So think about it from the player's point of view, and do remember, once again, one-year contracts in the off-season, not now, not during re-signs, but in the off-season free agency only, you have to offer 25% of your salary as a bonus, and on a one-year deal like I'm showing here, it has to be 50%. Multi-year deals, it can be 25%, one-year deal, 50% minimum. Can't go above that, but the minimum. And that's to incur some type of penalty for moving on from this player, cutting this player, or trading this player in a multi-year deal or on a one-year deal. There should be some sort of cap hit going to you for making that move because you should not get something for nothing. And that's the problem we had last offseason. We had a couple of guys that would sign these types of deals right here, especially in the last wave of free agency, whenever they'd offer these deals to these veterans that are high overalls, that are just looking to sign a contract. They offered them what I felt was an unrealistic contract because those players would look for guaranteed money, not salary money, which can be cut and lost and they don't get paid that. And essentially we're trying to game the system. That loophole is gone now. So if you were using that loophole, you got it closed. Congratulations. If you weren't using that loophole, this is something new to adjust to in next season's off-season free agency. Again, this is not for re-signing. This is not for during the season. This is not even during that last stage to re-sign. This is only during the off-season free agency, those 3 stages that we have the 24-hour period, the 12-hour period, and the 12-hour period for. That's it. That's the only time this applies. Any other time, you sign whatever you want to sign them for, but during off-season free agency, and during off-season free agency only, the minimums are as follows. If you sign a one-year contract with a player, minimum 50% bonus, can be more, but cannot be less than 50%. If you sign a multi-year deal, minimum bonus is 25%, can be more, cannot be less. Okay, and we will be watching that during the off season. We will be checking these things during the off season amongst all the other stuff we've got to do now. And if we see contracts that are illegal, we're going to make you cut the player. You're going to eat the cap hit for that player, and you're not going to be able to re-sign them until free agency is completely over. Okay, so be mindful of this. Again, this is a long way off. We've got at least another month or two till we hit another off season. But just put this in your mind now. This is something we're going to be looking at. This is a point of emphasis for next off season. Don't be the guy that screws it up. Okay? Thank you. This has been Coach Winovus with a WFL breakdown on off-season free agency adjustments and how contracts will be signed by free agents in free agency going forward. Thank you for your time. Y'all have a good one, guys.